Welcome back. Now, the Supreme Court's monitoring committee has recommended limiting vehicle registrations to one car per family or requiring proof of a dedicated parking space before purchasing a new vehicle. Now, the move comes in response to the growing issue of unauthorized parking in Delhi's parks and public places, which has disrupted traffic and harming the environment. Haphazard parking and encroachments have led to congestion and the conversion of parks into parking areas, causing a loss of greenery and groundwater recharge. The committee's report calls for a policy to guide Delhi's development over the next 20 years. Now, while the court has not yet addressed the recommendations, they're expected to be reviewed soon. Let's go across to my guests who are joining me at this point here. I'm very glad to be joined by Parin Visariya, who's the Deputy Manager of Inclusive Compact Cities, ITDP India, and I'm also being joined by Rajiv Mitra, who's one of India's most foremost automotive journalists. Thank you both, gentlemen, for joining me. Let me begin with you, Parin Visariya. I beg your pardon. Parin, what is your assessment of the crisis here? Of course, we'll come to the Supreme Court's suggestion before, but have we really reached a point where we need to look at perhaps limiting vehicle registrations? Because there's no place to park, there is no place to park your car, and there's no place to even go for a stroll in the park, because both assessments, both interpretations of the word are now in trouble in Delhi.
So firstly, I think it is a welcome move by the Supreme Court in its intent to have this policy, or at least the intent communicated. Because if we talk about our streets, almost the way parking is happening, about good 40-50% space is going, and we have left with no space for productive use, that is to move, walk, sit, enjoy. So one, it's a welcome move to address the congestion, the parking chaos, and very importantly, the environment issue also, because almost more than 50% of the pollution is coming from transport when we talk about the local sources of pollution. So it is definitely a move which is good, leaving more space for productive use. So that's where, of course, how it to be implemented, what happens to the aspirations of people who wanting to buy second cars, etc., need to be spoken about. But definitely more people-oriented approach is what this policy tends to be.